when you're shooting more than 1 yard, it's multiple pins. You're going to line up on your longest yardage pin. Now, as you can see directly behind me, we have a 10-yard target set up. What I'm fixing to do when I draw the bow back, my bottom pin, which is my furthest yardage, is going to line up in the Y. I'm going to keep it there. All I'm going to do is put my top pin exactly on the target where I want to hit. Now, I'm going to shoot center mass of the target. The reason being, if I'm way off left or right, then I'll still be on the bag. So let's see how well I did as far as fine tuning the sight. Bottom pin in the Y, the top one center mass. Okay, as you can see, I shot just a little bit high. I'm going to shoot one more time to make sure that I didn't do anything wrong, that I didn't pull. And I'm going to get the exact same sight picture that I just had. Okay, as you can see, they're both about the same height and they're exactly dead on left and right. So, I've shot to the right. I'm fixing to move the front box assembly to the right. Now at 10 yards, you're going to have to move it. It takes a little bit more movement to get your adjustment. Alright, and I also shot high. So now, I'm going to adjust the front box up. Okay, I'm going to shoot another arrow. I'm pretty much center mass. I shot just a touch high. But at 10 yards, that's okay. Because now what I'm going to do is back out 20 yards. And remember earlier in the videos when I was talking to you about the different setups and all, on your faster shooting bows, I told you if once you got it set in at 10, that it's pretty much still going to be on at 20 yards. Well, we're fixing to back the target up 20 yards and see what happens. Alright, now I have the target out at 20 yards. We're going to see how it does. And my cameraman today is Tommy Martinaire with Open Season. So I'm going to see if Tommy, on that yellow bag, right below the yellow jacket, there's a black dot. Can you zoom in on it? Okay. Alright guys, here goes. The black dot right below the yellow jacket. Center mass. About 2 inches high. Let's try it one more time. But as you can see, there's nothing difficult about setting the sight up and getting it sighted in. The biggest thing is you need to make sure you do everything the same way every time. You keep your head the same in the same position. You draw back to the same point every time. Still shooting just a little high. But here's the thing. Once you get the sight dialed in, your buddies can pick up the bow and hit with it about like you can. They need to know basically 4 things. Number 1, they need to know that they're not going to anchor at their own anchor point. You need to show them how you anchor. They need to know which side of the string you're looking down, whether you're looking to the outside or you're looking to the inside. They need to know which pin you're lining up on, and which pin you're shooting off of. You tell them those 4 things, give them about 3 shots, start them out at 10 yards until you make sure they know exactly how they're aiming the bow, and then you can let them back up further. Alright, one other thing I want to tell you guys about the sights. As you can tell, the fiber optics. I have a lot of people ask me about the fiber optics. With it being exposed, is it easy to break? Well, any sight manufacturer sight, I don't care who makes it, sooner or later the fiber optics are going to break. That's just part of life. The good thing about this is that fiber optics is .029. It's 29 thousandths. All you gotta have, if you're in the field, you need a Bic lighter, a pair of fingernail clippers, and some extra fiber. With a Bic lighter, you don't want to get the flame directly on the fiber. All you want to do is get the heat close to it, roll it between your thumb and your index finger. The longer you hold the heat to it, the bigger the end's going to get. Swell, if you're working on the rear pin, swell one end of your fiber up, feed it through the top hole, and then loop it around and feed it through the bottom hole. As you're pulling it through the bottom, you want to help it along. Then you make your loop as big or as small as you want it. Once you get the fiber out and you got your loop like you want it, cut it off, leave about an 1/8 inch sticking out in front of the pin, clip it, heat it up with a lighter. That's all it is to it. Your front pins, as you can see, I've got this looped. You can loop it to the pin itself, or you can loop it to the pin itself, or the front box assembly has holes drilled in the bottom of it. Normally I'll run the fiber from the pin to the bottom of the box. So you can do it either way. But all you do is, like I said, swell one end up, feed it through the pin. If you're going through the bottom of the box, just feed it through the bottom hole, whichever hole you want to feed it through. On some of the pins, you'll notice I've got more than one piece of fiber going through the same hole. You can do that. But that's how easy it is to replace. The fiber you can get anywhere. There's all different kinds of websites you can go to order fiber, or you can get it from me as well. So I hope you have enjoyed this session. I hope that I was able to teach you the complete setup and how to get this sight mounted and sighted in for you. If you guys should have any questions, by all means, feel free to shoot us an email, give us a phone call, whatever you need to do. At the end of this video, like I said, you'll be able to watch 2 different hunts with it, with Tommy Martinera using it in the field, and you'll be able to see Neil Lambert shooting 100 yards with the sight. Guys, this is a real deal. It's no toy. I've got a guy that sent me a video that wasn't real good quality, but he shot 150 yards using this sight and hit a 4-inch bullseye. So, and I've heard of other people telling me that they've made over 100-yard shots using this sight. If you can hold your bow steady, it will put the arrow right where you want it. One other little neat deal I want to show you guys before we leave is, I know you've seen them, I don't know how much you've heard about them. It's called the fob. It takes the place of the fletchings. This is made by Starflight. His link will be at the end of this video. The difference in the fob and fletchings is, when you're in a tree stand or if you're on the ground and you get a complete pass through on an animal, a lot of times it's hard for you to pick up the blood trail. Well, this pops out and it'll be laying right there where you shot the animal. So you find your fob, you find your blood trail. And as far as tuning them in, with broadheads and all, they work fantastic. I like them. That's what I use to hunt with. And like I said, with the broadheads, they work good. The only thing is, you've got to have a fall away rest. They will not work with anything but a drop away rest. The owner of Starflight, his name is Paul Morris. If you give Starflight a call or go to their website and check them out, you got any questions, I guarantee you he'll be more than happy to help you. And tell him I sent you there. But I'm going to fire a shot with this new Z7 for Matthews.